It started around 2 years, maybe. The whole recording element. It might, maybe even longer for some of the songs like on the album were written before that, but the official recording and making the album was maybe 1 or 2 years, yeah. I think it was important to have that time because I've released stuff in the past which was released far before it was ready. So this time I wanted to make sure that it was the right time, it was ready, and it was music that I wanted to make, and music that I'd really be proud of. Fall Down I must have wrote in about 2012, so a long time ago. But I think I remember vividly writing that track, and it just stuck in my head, and I was just like, this is a good track, I'd like to do something with it one day. And I think I left it for a year or two, and then it was last year when I was in the studio, and then I was just coming up with some ideas for some tracks, and then I was like, maybe we could do something with this, because I already had like an acoustic version of it, like a really demo-y version. So I thought maybe we could do something with it, and we did. We like got you know, laid it, and we ended up with I'm really happy with that track. And then we released it. It got such a great reception, and yeah, I think it's this track that perfectly introduces what I want to do musically.
I know that I'm not perfect. I wanna reach too many goals.
But the lyrics of Fall Down are really, they're not about, they're so broad, they could relate to anyone. I know what they mean to me, but I think the lyrics could just relate to anybody, in the fact that it's being in a situation where you could easily say to yourself, I'm just gonna fall into the pit of depression or pit of darkness, and instead you think, no, I'm not gonna fall down, I'm gonna pick myself up, I'm not gonna think of everything that can go wrong and start thinking of everything that can go right, and it's all about being strong. In the first 2 choruses, it's the lyrics are, I'm just gonna fall down, so it's like you know, when everything just feels like it's just falling apart, and it does sometimes, and then the final chorus is, I'm not gonna fall down, and it just, yeah, and I think it's a perfect introduction to my style. How is my favourite track on the album? It's one of the most recent tracks I recorded, so it was one of the latecomers, but I love the fact that it's so stripped back, it's just less is more, and I think it focuses so much just on telling the story, and I think telling the story of just the lost feeling that you can have sometimes, and yeah.
Couldn't dream at all, lost it all on my mind, taking time.
Crazy Fool, I think, is a nice breakup from some of the acoustic-y stuff. I love the riff, and it was sort of like the quickest track I've made, actually, because I think I recorded it within 2 hours, and then I just like mastered it after. But it was just a really spur-of-the-moment track, just a bit of fun. I think it's a bit edgy, and I think it shows maybe a different side, and got some dark vibes in there.
Change it all, I'm just a crazy fool. I'm just a crazy fool. You're on my mind, a waste of time.
Now I'm leaving. I was going for I don't know what I was going for, but I was listening to a lot of like Ben Howard-y stuff at the time, and I was listening to a lot of stripped back, even some Icelandic music. So I was going for a really stripped back, authentic track, and that was recorded live, the whole track. And I kept going to record it afterwards again, and we went into the studio and recorded it. And it just, even though it was alright, it wasn't as in the moment as the first time. The first time was really in the moment, and capturing it live had such a massive effect. So yeah, I think it works so much better live, and it's a really stripped back track, and again telling a story, and I think that's what lyrics and writing should all be about: telling stories, expressing moments that other people can maybe put their interpretation to. The album cover was by my friend Aaron Woodward, who was awesome. He does graphics and stuff, so I said, can you help me out with the graphics? And he'd done some of my graphics before, and I'd help him, yeah. And then I saw the graphics. I think he did the title John Thacker first, which is great, and I was like, that is perfect. And I told him it's called Here, and he also did one from my Fall Down album, EP, which was released first. He did the cover for that. But we went around, we took some pictures around Manchester, because I wanted Manchester in there because I'm from Manchester, even though you could never tell. We went around Manchester, we went onto the roof of the Arndale, where we took the final cover, which I think the final picture really captures the album perfectly. We walked around the back streets of Manchester. When you look straight ahead and you wish you were dead now, how you give it in? You keep on lying to me. You're keeping me tight, I see. You keep on trying enough to rely on me. I just wanna know. Trigger. I don't know where Trigger came from, because it's such a random track, but I knew I wanted like an interlude track, just a dreamy, spaced out track, and that's what it ended up as. Just something. It was dreamy. It was I think it's really atmospheric, and it captures a moment of desperation. And yeah, I think it's an interesting interlude. Yeah, like a spaced out track, but I think it stops you a bit, and I like that. I don't wanna find out, I just wanna find the trigger, yeah. Calling You was the last track I made. I was listening to like Jessie Ware and stuff at the time, and I wanted to create something with a bit of like a blue, because I did a track called Bang Bang ages ago, and I was trying to make something with a bit of like a electric neo soul-ish, with like a bit of a beat, and I think that I wanted a song with a beat to break up, you know, like we had Trigger. And then I've got like How and Now I'm Leaving, the acoustic-y tracks. So I wanted something midway with a bit of beat. And I think Calling You is fun, it draws you in a bit, it's a bit atmospheric, and I loved making it. It's a really good, really interesting track. And I've actually got a remix of it with a rapper, so I'm interested. I'm excited to release that. Forget is the most simple track on the album. I recorded it literally. I'm not the best piano player in the world or anything like that. I can play, but it takes me a long time to like figure it out, especially other people's tracks. Like I learned John Legend's All of Me, and it took me like a month to do it. But when I'm doing my own songs, as long as I keep it really simple, it just really comes naturally, and I think I enjoy singing most when I'm singing with the piano, or I'm learning the guitar, or when I'm singing with the guitar. So when it's something I've created, I find it easier to sing than something someone else has created. So I think Forget, I really wanted to include it, even though it's flawed in parts. I think it, again, similar to Now I'm Leaving, it's a live recording, so it's raw, it captures the moment and the feelings I was feeling in that moment. And all of the tracks on the album were wrote when I was feeling something, they all came from like expression. They all came from like something. They all came from something, you know, a feeling. I don't understand how people could ever write. Someone could ever write something from nothing. Like I can't just, you know, I'm gonna write a song today. Let's go and do that. I can't do that. I prefer to just wait until it comes, and then I'll just be walking down the street like, oh, or I'll just be like sat in my room, bawling my eyes out, and I will write a song, and that's how Forget came actually. So it's yeah, especially to last year, Forget and How, they're probably the most relatable to stuff I was going through. So I think that's why they're my favourite tracks on the album, just because they're when I listen to it, I'm like listening to a story that means a lot to me, but hopefully to someone else that means something else. So that's the hope. Let It Rain was recorded in the same session as Fall Down. We recorded them in the same day. We had the same producer. Let It Rain, I think we ended up with a really great track, and I kept flickering around where I'm going to put it on the track list. Like, do I want to put it at the start because it's catchy, it's quite listenable. I think it would be great for like, it's quite easy to listen to, but at the same time I didn't want to just have a song on there because it was easy to listen to, and like, being a perfectionist, I kept listening to that track and I was like, just that, blah blah blah, but then when you listen to it, I think it's like summery, just a bit of fun, and yeah, it's all just it's similar to Fall Down again, just like similar. You can feel the same atmosphere and vibes going on there as well. It's nothing. I didn't want to create like loads of love songs or anything with the same recurring theme. I wanted to create songs with other meanings as well.
You with someone, no.
Waited for You featuring Katie Ellis. I did actually about 5 or 6 collaborations for my new album, but they kept not feeling right, and something was wrong, and then it was actually really frustrating because I was working with these people, like, a lot of them were through the internet, like Katie Ellie, and then, you know, and there's just something wasn't work or something like that, but I've still got some of them which I'll probably work on in future stuff, and not just singers, like producers and rappers and stuff. But Katie, I had Waited For You, like a rough demo already in my mind, and this was in January this year. So the start of January, I had this track, and I had it all year, just in the background, just simmering below, and I wanted to do something with it because again, it was I think the melody was really good, and I think there was a great atmosphere in the lyrics and stuff. So I wanted to do something with it, but I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. So then when Katie contacted me, well, we contacted each other and we're coming up with ideas, and we still were going to work on other stuff, but we were like, well, I've got this track, and then Katie came up with an awesome verse, and she's got such an angelic voice, and then we sung together, and then we were like, our voices sound great together, both in the same realms of music. So I think the outcome was really good, and it's nice to break up my voice and hear someone else sing. So I think Waited For You is another great track, and Katie is fantastic, so check her out, definitely.
Didn't think you even cared.
The coffee shop I wrote in a coffee shop, Starbucks actually. Yeah, in Starbucks, just looking around, and then I just thought to myself, what? Oh, it was because I was on my own. I think I was waiting for someone. I don't remember because this was like 2013, I think. And I was just looking around, and I was just waiting for a friend. And then I was just thinking, everyone in here has a story to tell, but yet I don't know anything about it, and nobody else does. Like, that person could be, you know, that person could be just won the lottery. That person could have just been heartbroken, but you don't know because you don't know who they are. But everyone has a story to tell, and that track's really about how every single person has a story to tell, and how everyone comes together. Like a coffee shop is, even the littlest things are so powerful. Like the coffee shop, it brings people together, and you can come and, you know, you're in a situation with all them people and you're connected immediately by something. Like, there's so many things like that which connect people, and I think coffee shop is just, it's like a warm home place to go to, you know, like Friends, for example, Central Perk. It's like a place, a central place where people can feel at home even though they're not at home. So that's what the song's about. It's sort of like a homage to coffee shops and also, yeah, and sussing out the people around you. Starting a project like this is like starting with a blank canvas. You've got all this nothingness to create something with, and I think it's, in a way, it's, I never went out of my way to say I'm gonna create an album. You know, it was just sort of like, I'm just gonna make music and I worked with some great people. I like the writing and producing equally to the performing. So I love the process of, you know, making tracks, and I'd do it anyway. And then it got to last year when I realised that I've actually got some really good tracks, and I think then I released Fall Down, which was the first track which I listened to, and I thought, I'm going to share this because I think it's quite good, because I don't normally make demos and like send them around and stuff, or like work with people on other people's stuff or blah blah blah. So it was nice just to get a good, and Fall Down had such great reaction, and then that Fall Down was the starter track for the whole album really. And I think once I started creating stuff, then I got to the end of last year and I realised I've got like 15 tracks, and I think I had like 30 tracks by the end, which just narrowed it down. And there was even some tracks that I wanted to do but just weren't ready yet, and it was really annoying because I really wanted to share them, and so I'm just going to save them in the back of my mind for future stuff, but I really want to focus on here. I also had a remix of Now I'm Leaving on the album, which was remixed by DJ Starbound, who is awesome. I had a few other people remix my stuff, but some of them sound a bit weird with my voice, and I still wasn't sure about the DJ Starbound remix, even though the remix was really good. Just my voice, I was like, does that sound right with a remix? But some of them were really good. I actually had a song called My Baby, which I didn't include on the album. I have a remix of it, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet because it's so different to my other work. But it's like really housey and grimy, and I really want to do something with it, but I'm not sure. I just realised I said really about 50 times. But I really want to do something with it, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do. But Now I'm Leaving, it was interesting to see the original Now I'm Leaving so stripped back, like such a live performance, just the guitar and vocals, and then add on all this, take away the guitar and add on all these synths, drums, you know, deep basses, add all these layers on, and you know, see what you can do. And yeah, I think it's a nice addition to the album, and it breaks up again some of the acousticy stuff because you've got Forget in the Coffee Shop around near the end of the album, so it breaks up some of that with something which you can hopefully jump around to. Thank you for watching. You can download Here now on iTunes, and you can also stream it on Spotify if you want. It'd be amazing if you could leave a comment on it or tell me what you think of it. That'd be awesome. And thank you so much for, if you have listened to it, for your opinions and what you thought of it. It means a lot. Thank you.
Where to go when the rain falls down? I feel like open up. I'll never wanna go, 'cause I say that I don't want it, and I say that I'm going.